My name is Alice Todd. I am the co-founder of Val.Ai. We provide sustainability and carbon emission data insights for residential properties for both the valuation, property and finance sectors. Val.Ai in our infancy had a MVP that we wanted to put to market. We had the opportunity to partner with AWS and the NAB to test some hypotheses for this project in our go-to-market plan. For us to do that, we needed to find a technology provider that could help us upskill our team with some additional staff and then deploy that project to market as part of a statement of works with both of the two groups. When we were looking to be able to release our MVP to market, we did explore various options both here and offshore to be able to look what would be the best solution. For us, it was a time-bound experience. We had a project engagement that included key timelines that we needed to work with our third-party partners on the project, and Avonet provided a solution that was available within our time frame and our scope of budget. Avonet is a team that we heard about through word of mouth. Here in Adelaide, there were multiple software providers that we spoke to and other third parties who had engaged with Avonet and members of their team before. We also explored other opportunities interstate and offshore, but we found that the Avonet team already had a good close association to our team members, and we had seen some good proof points of other projects that they'd successfully executed in the past. Ultimately, this project was time-bound and finance-bound. We were looking for a team that could be quickly deployed as part of our project to have our MVP to market and work within our timeline and budget. The reason that we chose to go with Avonet was not only did they come recommended, we had an opportunity to see some of their past successes with projects they'd worked on, and also they were available within the scope of time and budget for our needs. Certainly, so our statement of works for our MVP was time-bound. So we had some key activities that we were undertaking with AWS's Innovation Advisory Services that included having the Avonet team onboarded with ourselves to be able to undertake a hypotheses testing with Amazon's user testing team. What it allowed us to do is Avonet's team were available on our timeline to be able to participate in all those activities. We hope that managers teams had the opportunity to gain lots of insights on how the Amazonian approach could be adopted into their workplace. So we saw it as a co-benefit. So not only did we get the Avonet team's time, energy for the infrastructure build, but we also feel that we were able to pay it forward with being able to allow them to be experienced with a larger team and how they run their user testing. So our project itself, it was a 6-month project, face-to-face here in Australia with individuals here and offshore across multiple teams. And then also we worked one-on-one with the Avonet team for the final POC MVP release that occurred in 2022. The biggest challenges in the implementation was ensuring that we worked to scope and budget, but because the primary use cases for our product were through user testing and continuous sprint-based iteration. The biggest friction point for us was being able to not only iterate every 2 weeks on user testing with real-world subjects here in Australia, but ensuring that we stuck to our timeline and our budget for build. So while there were multiple ways in which we could iterate our project, it was important that we stuck to the key things that not only we had the technical capabilities to be able to do, but that also built within a wider project release that we had on the horizon for the end of last year. The Avonet team brought a raft of skill set that we could deploy both here and offshore. The importance for us was, as a startup, we were very lean at the time, and the capacity for us to be able to hire in and recruit all of the talent in-house that we needed to meet our timelines was something that we weren't going to be able to achieve unless we sourced external talent. Avonet's team came with a raft of different skill sets within their technical capabilities, from high-end DevOps engineers right through to UX UI designers who were quite new to the scene. So it allowed us to work within our budgets and our timelines. But what was most important is, even though we're based in Adelaide and we're working to our timelines, we also had individuals offshore that could assist us with overnight production releases and ensure that we could continue to iterate the project and do so in a very, very quick time frame. The Avonet team worked one-on-one with us very closely. Because our project was a partnership between ourselves and AWS, we had a 12-week iterative sprint process built out with the AWS's team, and Avonet accommodated us by participating in Zoom meetings, face-to-face Scrum, and all of our activities, so they came along the journey with us. That was extremely important for us at that stage of our product user testing, because it allowed them to not only be simply deploying the build that we required, but they were involved in the journey to understand why those particular release points were important and significant, and could help them troubleshoot the opportunities when they came about. Avonet's team, it also allowed them to get to know us from a cultural perspective. So rather than us deploying key tasks that were ticketed through a Jira system or through Confluence to a third-party agency, it meant that we were involved together in a Scrum, meaning that the release was of much greater value to us because we had a one-on-one relationship with each of the individuals within the Avonet team. The Avonet team worked seamlessly with our team because we had good verbal communication. So we had the ability to integrate them, and we were comfortable integrating them into our team during our process journey. So we not only had face-to-face through our contacts in Adelaide with Avonet, but we also had weekly sprints, Slack channels, and the ability for us to work together as nimbly as possible. For an early stage startup, it's really important, if you are engaging a third-party agency such as Avonet, that you know that whenever your timelines require their support, they can be there to accommodate you, as opposed to you being a very small client that perhaps has to wait until the agency can support you at other times. So Avonet provided face-to-face contact, they provided easy communication style and approach, but we also were able to be agile in the way we worked together. So if we disagreed on certain points to do with the build, we all felt comfortable raising those concerns and also working together, because ultimately it was about servicing our customers and delivering the best product to market. I have already recommended Avonet to a friend or colleague, and certainly the groups who I'm based in, the University of Adelaide's ThinkNAB team, are familiar with the Avonet team and their capabilities, and we wish Avonet all of the best successes into the future.